Money Chat Now with Larry Steinhouse. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show because it's time for
the biggest moves in the stock market. It's presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Tuesday, June 14th, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live. We're supposed to be live on WWDB Radio 860 AM, but I think someone's asleep at the switch over there. Well, anyway, we are also live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, True Social, TikTok, and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and please say hi so I know you're watching. All right. And by the way, if you're commenting from a group that's not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name may not show up on my dashboard, so please go to the Money Chat Now page and comment there so I can recognize you. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, real quick, I'm going to say hello to a couple of people online. It looks like we've got, of course, my lovely wife, Linda. We've got Glenn, we've got Bill, we got James, and we got Lewis and Mike, and it looks like Linda says that the radio is running, so I'm going to get that back going. Hey, Joe, thanks so much. Money Chat Now, of course, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, running or not, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday. All right, I want to also remind you today that it's Interview Tuesday, and I want to let you all know that for our online audience, each Tuesday we plan to bring you a great interview with interesting people and introduce you to their products, services, or just their good intentions. Hey, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can go to thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. That's thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest, and let us know you want to be interviewed. Today we have Evan Tzivanakis, who is a personal performance coach, and I'm telling you, you'll like his style. So stay tuned for this interview coming up next. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, coming up on the show, of course, we have the futures update. We got yesterday's update. We have crypto scam. We have border crossings to Mexico. Wait till you hear this. This is hysterical. And, of course, we have Flag Day. All right, let's talk about what happened yesterday and what's going on. Oh. Look, flat out, yesterday really sucked. The Dow dropped over 1,000 points. The S&P dropped over 160, and the NASDAQ over 550 points. You know, it's like we have another pandemic. Actually, I think we do have another pandemic, only this time it's called Bidenovirus 22. Yeah, that's right, Bidenovirus 22. This guy seriously has a black thumb. He can't do anything right. He can't even get his party to do what they want him to do. Unbelievable. This market stress is all about the predicted recession that's coming, and we seriously can't avoid it at this point. The question is whether it'll be this year or next year. The Fed will announce a raise in interest rates this week, and the fear it will be 50 basis points or 75 basis points. It just so happens that Powell said that 75 basis points was off the table in the last speech. However, I don't think that's a reality anymore, and investors are worried that it might even be 100 basis points. Look, I'm sure glad I refinanced everything back in December because interest rates for mortgages are going to be up in the 6 to 8% shortly. Yesterday, we saw nothing good turn green. It was terrible. One company was up a little bit yesterday, and it was a company that invests in futures, and the symbol was CME. It was up 1.5%. Nothing. It was nothing, right? There were so many losers yesterday that in a rare occurrence, every single stock on the S&P was down. Wow. We are definitely in bear territory, and nothing is going to stop that now. If my range theory holds, we should close above 31,000 today, but it don't look good. This market has me very worried about a lot of things. Even commodities like gold and silver dropped yesterday. Oil was down too, but of course the 30-year Treasury bond jumped to 3.4%. And I'm going to tell you right now, 3.5 and 3.75 will be the next scary place and expected shortly. There is nothing the Fed that the Fed can do right now to be the right move. It will all be mad, and the announcement will be tomorrow, or at least the meeting will be tomorrow, and the minutes will be tomorrow. Crypto got hit really hard as well, and we're going to be talking about that in a couple of minutes. And Bitcoin fell below 23,000. And if you were listening to this show, I told you to wait till 22,000, and you may get another shot at that, but get out at 28,000 and take the small profit. 17,000 is the next stop before 12,000, so watch it. and it's going to go there, and it's going to go there fast. And if you had any time yesterday, you picked up anything, you got some great bargains yesterday. We'll be heading into earnings season soon, and that usually makes the market go up a bit. It should take, it should take some of your stocks with it. I can't believe some of the stocks that I follow are down to pandemic levels already. By the way, I can't believe Carnival is down below 10, Disney is down below 100, and American Airlines is close to the low of the pandemic as well. It's been a rough year for me, and if you're in the market, it's been a rough year for you as well. I got to tell you, I'm glad I have my real estate, or I'd be hurting. It's time to buy stocks and sit on them for a while. And listen, make sure you have time to sit on the money. We should have a dead cat bounce today, but I think the cat is pretty beat up. All right, let's look at the futures and see if we can get a glimmer of hope. Right now, look at that. The Dow is only up 43, and this morning it was up over 200, so we're already in trouble. Right? We have the S&P up 11, and we have the NASDAQ up 66. That basically tells me that Wall Street is still panicked, they're still scared, and they have no idea what they're going to be doing. So it's going to be rough. All right. I just want to say hello to a couple of people who have joined us. We got Carrie who joined us, and Peter, and Mark, and John. Thanks so much, guys. I'm still not sure if we're on the radio and WWDB, but, whatever. I'm sure I'll have a nice conversation with Sam Spicer tomorrow about that. All right, let's talk about crypto. Look, it's time to call it like it is. Crypto has been the biggest scam in finance since Bernie Madoff took all his clients' money. And like the Madoff clients, the owners or so-called investors in crypto are in too much shock to realize what happened. I had been saying for weeks that crypto was finished, and I said that Bitcoin would go to 22,000. It's possible it'll bounce to 28,000, but it'll be the last time. The entire concept of cryptocurrency was destroyed as many greedy programmers created more and more cryptocurrencies to become the next best thing. The concept of Bitcoin was to replace the current 180 fiat currencies with one decentralized bank system that could easily be traded and used to buy goods and services from others. The concept used a clever ledger system called a blockchain, which had a check and balance system to make sure the transaction was legitimate and secure. The idea of the blockchain and the idea of decentralized banking is brilliant and noteworthy. However, it all went wrong when FOMO started in the industry. FOMO, the fear of missing out, made many programmers think, hey, why didn't I think of that? And when they realized, hey, I can think of that, and created new coins and new tokens that could be exchanged for goods and services, the problem was that none of the coins were actually traded for any goods and services. By the way, did you ever hear anybody buying anything with anything besides Bitcoin? They were just bought and traded for each other at higher and higher prices until no one could pay any more for it. At that point, it would be traded or sold for lower and lower values. Do you remember Pogs or Pokemon cards? That's what this is. If you had a certain rare card, you could sell those cards for thousands of dollars at a time. Now, they aren't worth much, and you can find them on eBay for $5 because no one really cares. And that's what's happening with cryptocurrency. Yesterday was deemed Black Monday for many by crypto, and I don't think it's the worst of it. I think we're going to see a 50% down day coming soon. Think about who the investors in this product are. They were mostly millennials and Gen Zs who put their $500 to $1,000 in this with dreams of turning it into $1 million. It's no different than when the Reddit crowd manipulated the market with GameStop and AMC stocks. When you add in companies like Robinhood and Coinbase, the crypto craze really accelerated due to hype and free marketing. Yesterday, a major player in crypto lending just shut off the valve and stopped people from being able to even withdraw their funds. So if you had money, you couldn't even withdraw it. This was after what could be compared to a mini bank run on crypto over the weekend. The companies involved in crypto are all cutting jobs and cutting outlook for profits. For all you crypto fans screaming out there at the screen right now, look, if you're screaming at me, saying things like, what about you and stocks and stock options? Yeah, I'm also having a really bad year trading, but my assets like stocks, gold, silver will always have value. The companies I invest in are sound companies, and they have returns in the future. And at least they even have assets, right? Even gold and silver will always have value. Most importantly, my real estate holdings will continue to be the most secure assets I ever have. Will they go down in the next couple of years? Yeah, probably, but so what? The rent will continue to cover the expenses, and I can hold them forever, making money each month. Crypto is finished. It's finished. Trust me, it's finished. It did not become mainstream as it was predicted to do. And also, with the 19,000 different coins out there, it certainly isn't going to simplify banking. It has done just the opposite. My Coinbase subscription continuously sends me emails asking me if I want to learn about the next new coin. I didn't need a rocket science degree to learn that 4 quarters can be exchanged for $1, but I need a 100-hour lesson to understand how to convert 500 millionths of a Bitcoin to Ethereum. And I have to pay some ridiculous fees to have it done for me also. No, this is not the next best thing. Crypto would become a memory of good times of this decade, but it's over. I suggest you take what you can out of the market, if you can figure out how to get it out of the market. I got to tell you, I have some funds in a Coinbase wallet that I moved from Coinbase to a Coinbase wallet. I can't figure out how to get it out. And I got to tell you, I lost $4,000 just trying to figure out how to get it out. Sorry I didn't take the 100-hour class on this. Look, don't look back, move your money, and move it someplace safe. All right, let's take a break here. I will see you guys in a minute.
Okay, so you thought about buying and selling real estate. You've thought about investing in the stock market, but don't know where to start. Well, what if you could find a place to unlock strategies to master both real estate and the stock market, all without the headache? That place is Investor Schooling, hosted by Larry Steinhouse, an expert in real estate, financial literacy, and the ins and outs of the stock market. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate, and you will learn mastery of stock techniques such as options and covered calls. You will even get a chance to ask one of your burning questions to the stock options sultan, the master of picks and plays. Call 866-424-2829 for free information and receive a complimentary pass to attend classes, or register online at investorschooling.com. Don't delay. These passes are limited. So what are you waiting for? Call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Or visit investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio 860 AM. I actually think we are back on the air. Anyway, if you're watching online, please hit that share button so we can help your friends learn how to make more money. Come on, hit that share button. Everybody, right now, scroll over, hit share, and share it on your page, and also share it in groups that you know will enjoy the show. Hey, hit that like button. Let me know you're enjoying the show. Everybody hit the like button right now. Everybody just hit like. I want to see those things scroll up when you guys hit that like button or the love button or whatever it is. Keep hitting it. All right, here we go. Keep going. More. All right. So far, of course, we've been discussing the futures update. Right now, the Dow is only up 35. Oh, that's going to be brutal. The S&P is up 9, and the NASDAQ is up 58. I'm kind of nervous. I am definitely nervous about this. All right, we also talked about crypto being a scam. I have to say it. I'm sorry. I know you guys out there in crypto are like yelling at me right now, but that's the truth. We got coming up, we got border crossings to Mexico, and we have Flag Day. And then, of course, we have today's picks and plays. But come on, guys, hit that like button again. Hit that share button. Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter. And, of course, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure and set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook when you get home and let me know what you think of the show. Hey, by the way, before we start the second half, have you guys ordered my new book yet? Hey, look, go to wherever fine books are sold. Look up Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse, and you can get it on Kindle or Nook right now. And the physical book will be pre-ordered for arrival in about 6 weeks. All right, let's get into the second half. This is really funny. Let's talk about border crossings. Look, we all know that the brain-dead Biden and his minion of anti-American followers are allowing our borders to be crossed at an alarming rate. We know about the drugs like fentanyl and the cost of tax reserves going up to the people who have never paid anything to the tax system and probably will never pay into the tax system either. But here's something ironic. In California, the taxes, gas prices, and high crime caused by the idiot governor there is driving people out of the state. We already know that many are moving to Texas and Florida, and basically to be in America again. But it turns out that there's a large migration to Mexico. That's right, Mexico. They're actually moving to Mexico and working from home. Because of the rise in remote work, people can move to Mexico and actually work from home. And there's also a few thousands, check this out, who actually commute from Mexico to California to go to work. This is crazy. Now, what's also happening is the citizens of Mexico are complaining because it's driving up the prices of homes in Mexico. As of 2020, check this out, as of 2020, 800,000 American citizens are currently living and working in Mexico. Oh, the irony. It's amazing, right? We give them our rich people, and they give us our poor people. I guess this also gives new meaning to the words Mexican-American. Anyway, in Mexico, many of the popular areas have new construction and new houses being built for the Californians. Pretty soon, California will become the state of not only the poor, and Mexico will house the former rich of the area, especially the tech section. Viva Mexico! And, oh, by the way, vote out the Democrats to make California America again. Unbelievable. Crazy. All right, we've got a couple of people who joined us. It looks like Bill and Jose and Pat. Hey, Pat. Pat says, death of crypto. She's laughing, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she likes it or doesn't like it. All right, let's talk about Flag Day. Hey, did you know that today is Flag Day? Yeah, I kind of didn't either. Oh, well. All right, the history of the flag goes back to the American Revolutionary War. In the beginning of the war, the colonists didn't have a united single flag. They instead had flags of each of the colonies. This, of course, was confusing, but also, think about it, it also could cause them a problem for morale. In June of 1775, the Second Continental Congress met in Philadelphia to create the Continental Army, a unified colonial fighting force with the hopes of a more organized battle against its colonial oppressors. This led to the creation of what was essentially the first American flag in the continental colors. The original flag with its 13 red and white stripes also had a Union Jack in the corner. However, Washington soon realized that it looked too much like the British flag, so it was changed to a flag with 13 stripes and 13 stars representing the 13 colonies. The stars were a representation of what was called a new constellation of stars, and over 100 years later, in 1916, President Woodrow Wilson marked the anniversary of that decree by officially establishing June 14th as Flag Day, and that's today. There are many rumors about who actually sewed the first flag. Some say it was Betsy Ross who sewed it, but there's no real historical evidence. I don't know, I saw all these history books when I was a kid. You saw pictures of Betsy Ross doing it, but maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But it has been confirmed, however, that Francis Hopkinson, a delegate from New Jersey, who also designed the Continental money used at the time, and also was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, was the actual designer of the American flag. Of course, there are many flag codes that range from how a flag should be hung to basically respect for the flag. And of course, there are standard dimensions for the flag as well. It's pretty obvious that most Americans have no regard for these rules of flag code, and mostly, I gotta tell you, it's out of ignorance, not disrespect. The ones who, of course, who disrespect the flag at a protest by burning it or throwing it to the ground are actually criminals according to the law. Unfortunately, treasonous acts like this are no longer punished, and the anti-American criminals are just left to destroy this great symbol at will. By the way, speaking of disrespect for the flag today, unbelievable. On Flag Day, today, if you travel to Washington, D.C., you will actually see flags hanging that will have 51 stars instead of 50 stars. Yes, the mayor of D.C. is protesting the fact that D.C. is not recognized as a state and had flags created with her taxpayer dollars that were made with an extra star. The extent of disrespect of liberals never ceases to amaze me. Oh, and just remember that the proper Pledge of Allegiance on the flag will always include the words, "One nation under God." Of course, now that schools don't say the pledge anymore, most children don't even know it exists anyway. Listen, today, when you pass a flag, take a moment to think of the people who sacrificed to give us the freedoms that we still have today. With all our problems, this is still the only country I'd want to live in. Look, let's take a break here, and God bless America. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and I've written a book called Money Hacks. The subtitle to this book is because everything you think you know about money is wrong, and I promise you there are things you think about money that are wrong. There are chapters in this book that I think you will find absolutely fascinating, and some of them are, what is money anyway? Can money buy happiness? I'll bet you don't know the answer to that question. The truth about credit scores, how you can actually use credit cards to rebuild your credit. I also have chapters on being your own bank, how to buy houses with an IRA, and how to invest with other people's money. There are so many other chapters. There are 22 total chapters in this book, and I promise you're going to learn how to make more money and pay less taxes when you buy this book. My name is Larry Steinhouse. The name of the book is Money Hacks. You can get this book wherever fine books are sold, and you can go to barnesandnoble.com right now and pre-order it. I hope that you will enjoy it. All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, by the way, did you guys order the book yet? Go to barnesandnoble.com, look up Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse, and order it. And if you did order it and you read it, please go back there and leave me a review. It would be awesome to have some reviews. There's about 14 5-star reviews on there, and I'd love to have more. I realize the book isn't even out yet, and there's a lot of people out there leaving reviews, but you can get the book on Kindle or Nook right now, and the actual physical book will be available in stores in about a month. All right, so far, of course, we've been discussing the futures update. Still, the Dow is only up 44. The S&P is up 10, and the NASDAQ is up 61. So why am I, you guys want to know why I'm worried about that being only up a little bit? It worries me because it could fall really quickly. All right, we talked so far about crypto being a scam, and I still believe it. We talked about the irony of people moving to Mexico from California. It just cracks me up. And, of course, we talked about Flag Day. And don't forget to take a look at a flag today and just think about it for a moment about what people went through to make sure that you have your freedoms today. And, of course, we have coming up, we have an interview with today with Evan Tzivanakis, and that will be a really interesting interview for those people online. You guys on WWDB Radio, you won't hear that, but you can go to Facebook and you can look up Money Chat Now, and you can watch it there. All right, of course, coming up, we also have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button? All right, everybody hit that like button. Hey, Seth, I want to thank you for watching. I see that you got a bunch of American flags over there. Apparently you liked my last segment. And Charles is saying good morning. Thanks, guys. All right, of course, hit the like button, hit the share button. Come on, Charles and Seth and Pat and Jose. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Let everybody know that you're watching the show, and they could definitely enjoy it. All right. You can also leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And, of course, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this station and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. Once again, I want to remind you that it's Interview Tuesday for our online audience. Each Tuesday, we plan to bring you a great interview with interesting people and introduce you to their products, services, or just their good intentions. Hey, if you want to be a guest on the show, and anybody can be a guest on the show, as long as you have a good product or a good service or something you want to talk about, go to thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. That's thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. Let us know why you want to be interviewed. Today we have Evan Tzivanakis, who's a personal performance coach. I'm telling you right now, you're going to like his style. Stay tuned for this interview coming up. All right, let's get into today. Let's talk about today's outlook and plays. As usual, when you have a major drop, especially two major drops in a row, you're going to have a standard dead cat bounce. I'm a little nervous about today's, though. Investors will try to make up for yesterday by placing their bets today on stocks that are either oversold or stocks they feel will survive without any issues if the Fed raises interest rates higher than expected. Look, as I said, the rumor, of course, is that the Fed will raise interest rates 75 basis points, even though Powell said that was off the table last month. I got to be honest, I don't know. I'm wondering if he's going to keep to his statement or if he'll actually raise it that high to 75 basis points. Today's going to kind of be somber as we wait for tomorrow's Fed meeting briefing, and that's usually around 2 o'clock. So tomorrow, 2 o'clock, we're going to have some major movement in the stock market. Right now, I like stocks, and I don't like too many stock options. However, I did see some great long-term stock option plays that caught my eye yesterday. It appears that so many of the stocks are beaten down that so many options are selling really cheap. So look for them. But look for expiration dates into next year. I would stay out of this year right now. Look for expiration dates into next year. And look, it's true that the market will go lower, but certain stocks will always move higher as the revenue continues to grow. Retail travel stocks and tech stocks are definitely these stocks, and they're beaten up so badly that they're becoming bargains. All right, let's take a final look at the futures and see what's going on right now. We got the Dow. You see, it's moving down. See, it's starting to make me worried. The Dow is only up 31. The S&P is down about 8. And the NASDAQ is, I'm sorry, not down. It's up. I'm sorry. The Dow is up 31. The S&P is up 8. And the NASDAQ is up about 48. So it's starting to move down. It's already got me worried. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is holding at around 22,000. And as I said, it's probably going to go back to 28,000. But then it's all over. It won't go there again. So if you want to get in for speculation, go ahead. And if you're holding on, get out soon because you're going to want to get out. It's going to be really, really bad. It's going to be, just don't even bother, right? All right, gold and silver. Let's talk about gold and silver and precious metals. The precious metals, they're kind of holding their own. Gold isn't moving much. It's still at about 1825. And silver moved down a bit to 21. So again, not that great. Look, I'm also going to tell you, I've said it before, buy silver, buy gold. Sell your Bitcoin, buy silver, buy gold. I put out a post last year that said, when Bitcoin was at 60,000, I said, sell your Bitcoin and buy silver and gold. You'll thank me in a year. And it's funny because Bitcoin dropped to 1/3 of what it is right now. But silver also dropped to 2/3 of what it was. Not really 2/3, a little bit less. Maybe 75% of the original number. But still, it's not that great. But it's at least it'll come back. All right, the Treasury bond is still below 3.5, but not for long. So when that Treasury bond hits 3.5, it's a scary number once again, and 3.75 will be another one. Oil is still about $1.21 a barrel, and average gas prices is slightly higher than $5.01 a gallon. So let's go in unison. Let's all say, let's go, Brandon. Hey, don't forget, I want to tell you that it's Interview Tuesday for our online audience. Each Tuesday, we'll bring you a great interview with interesting people and introduce you to their products. Today, we have Evan Tzivanakis. And if you want to be on the show and you want to be interviewed, go to thelarrysteinhouseshow.com. That's thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest, and you will be able to be interviewed there. Hey, right now, I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. And you guys online, hang in there because the second part of the show is coming up. My name is Larry Steinhouse. I am the host of Money Chat Now, and I'm also the CEO of Investor Schooling. And don't forget, if you guys want to contact me directly, you can actually go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com, and you can find out all about me, and you can even make an appointment to talk to me. All right, guys, online, stay online, and everybody, have a profitable day.
WDB.
Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to today's Money Chat Now interview. In this portion of the show, I take the opportunity to interview interesting people and introduce you to their products, their services, or just their good intentions. Hey, if you'd like to be a guest on my show, you can go to thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. That's thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest, and let us know why you want to be interviewed. All right, let me tell you a little bit about today's guest. He considers himself an executive coach who in the past managed more than 500 employees across 8 countries. He led companies to expand across Asia-Pacific region by successfully crafting the right company culture and leading people from the front lines. With that experience, he is now an executive coach, helping executive leaders and organizations build inspiring leadership from the inside out by offering the most educational, transformational, and impactful coaching and training solutions. Let me introduce you to my guest, Evan Tzivanakis. Evan, what's going on, man?
How are you? Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too, man. I like your accent. It's pretty intense.
It's a little bit mixed up, right? I lived in different countries, as you said. Right now, I'm in Europe. I was in the UK and Asia and all that. So bear with me. It's different, right? So right now I am live from Europe, from sunny Cyprus. And
so you're in Cyprus, huh? That's pretty wild. I like that. I like the fact that that's pretty neat. Yeah. So I'm sorry.
I'm Cyprus,
So let me ask you a question. With that accent, so if you're in all these different places with that accent, is it easier for you to pick up the women?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You sound different. You don't sound boring. Absolutely. I use it to my advantage.
That's
No,
awesome,
I'm
man.
a married man. I'm a married man now. I'm a serious married.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is anybody out there who wants to get some blackmail money. You heard him say it. We'll just take the sound bite out like the politicians do, and this way we could bribe you. Well, you could have us. We could ask you to, whatever, to blackmail. We could blackmail you and try to get some money for it. All right. Anyway, getting back to your thing. So tell me about yourself. So you're an executive coach. Is that correct?
Yes, I come from a management background. Over the last 12 years, I've been setting up companies and developing businesses in Asia. What I mean Asia is, Southeast Asia, Singapore, Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and you can call it Australia as well. I've spent a couple of years in Sydney. So, and specifically, companies, professional services, and financial brokers. But when it comes to management, for me, it doesn't really matter what kind of industry the company is in. I specialize in, managing people, operations, setting up companies, scale businesses, and so on and so forth. So it's an interesting time right now because lots of companies are adapting the new hybrid, work model. The Great Resignation started from the U.S. And it's an interesting time for managers. It's an interesting time for leaders because I think the time has come where, a lot of managers and leaders really need to reevaluate and retrain themselves and, adapt a different mindset and different skills.
So I'm listening to you, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what an executive coach is, but it almost sounds like what you're describing is you're describing how to teach them how to run their company. Is that correct?
Well, not really. I mean, yes and no. A lot of coaching is different from training. Training is, let's say I'm in front of. I also provide training. Let's say you're in front of the audience, and the trainer, does the talking 80% of the time. Coaching has to do more with behavioral changes, and I don't know the answer. In a coaching situation, you don't know the answer. You are helping the client. I am facilitating the process. This is what coaching is, I suppose. It's a facilitation of a process so the client can find out what he wants to find out about himself or about the company.
So you're like the consultant in those movies that everybody makes fun of, and I'm trying to think of the one now. The movie, I think it was called The Office. Not The Office. Office Space. Have you ever seen the movie Office Space?
I think so. And the Office is
not the Office, but I'm thinking about the movie Office Space with the Bobs.
The Office.
You're one of those guys then. You're one of the Bobs. Is that correct?
I'm the Bob, yeah.
So you go in and you ask all these questions to the employees, and you try to make the company more efficient. Is that correct?
By making the people more efficient, therefore the company more efficient.
Okay. So you go in. I actually am really curious. How do people find you? How do people know that you're there? How do people know to do that? That you do that?
Yes. My business is mainly from referrals, from get to know people, from clients referring clients, and other ways exposure like you from podcasts, articles. I also part-time teach at the University of at the EU Business School, which is a university in Geneva. So from different avenues.
So again, what is it that you teach when you're teaching?
Business and management.
I'm sorry. One more time.
Business and management, leadership, management, and business.
All right. So you're teaching business. So are these two to I don't know, college students, or are they to people who have businesses now that need to learn business?
Yeah, well, a lot of to both. The answer is to both, because a lot of the business schools right now and the educational institutions, they also provide coaching and training solutions to business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, C-suites, and so on and so forth.
Got it. So what do you find is the biggest mistake that a manager or a executive makes in a business?
Before I answer that, allow me to say, it's what we realize. I'm sure you are aware of the term, the Great Resignation.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it's a great resignation. I think is the great status quo collapse.
The great status quo. I really like that. Okay, explain that.
What do I mean is, employees simply, they will not tolerate any kind of toxic management approach anymore. And a lot of them said, screw that, I'm out of here. I don't want this shit anymore.
Yeah, I agree, but don't you think? I mean, so I look at this because I talk about money all the time in my show, and I've mentioned the Great Resignation several times in my show. But don't you think that these people are being very short-sighted? That they've been with a company for 15 years, they're getting a really nice salary, they're kind of comfy in there right now, and then all of a sudden they leave, they go to another company, and another company goes, I thought you built this other company, you're doing a great job, but here you're not doing such a great job, so we don't want you anymore. It kind of would make me a bit nervous.
I absolutely agree, because I come from a business ownership background. I have my own business, and I understand exactly where you're coming from. And there are some employees out there that they think that just by switching companies they will find the holy grail, or they will find another environment, but they end up after 6 months they miss. It's like you're changing relationship because you think your current relationship is bad, but you're going into a worse environment. So I agree with you. But that's how it is. Sometimes these people make mistakes, but that's how it is. Right now, a lot of companies are, I'm sure you know that a lot of companies right now, they're struggling to find employees.
Right.
Right now in Europe, it's summertime, the hospitality industry is booming. Hotels cannot find workers anymore.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I actually, it's pretty funny because every once in a while somebody reminds me that if you do a really deep Google search on me, you find a really old article about that I was suing a company because they recruited me out of another company, and I actually said to the person while I was there, I said, when I went in the interview, I said, look, why would I want to come here when I got my job over here, I'm doing really, really well, everybody loves me, and what if I come here and then 2 weeks later you guys hate me? So I actually had them write some kind of guarantee that they were going to pay me if that happened. And the wording was vague. Sure enough, they let me go after 6 weeks, because I didn't fit the culture, whatever the situation was. And it's kind of interesting because there it is. And I did sue and I did win. Well, actually, we ended up settling, but it was kind of an interesting case because of that situation. I knew that might be a problem. I said, you know what, this might be a really bad idea leaving my company right now. And it seems like I see that happening with these people. And I also read an article recently, and I don't remember what percentage, but it wasn't a large percentage. It wasn't a small percentage. Maybe it was the 20% range where the people who left their job regretted it. They were like, wait, I should have stayed there. It was much better where I was before.
Yes, so before, to answer your question, I'm going to come back to you. I think that the mistake, and it's a little bit, it's okay, the mistake that a lot of managers currently do is, the number one mistake, I think, when you're switching from an office environment, let's say, to hybrid work or remote, is that they don't trust their employees enough to do the job in an unsupervised environment. So that's the number one mistake that I experienced from my coaching practice. So, there is one question that went through managers' mind 2 years ago when the pandemic started, and the question is, are they working when they are working from home?
Well, yeah, the whole hybrid thing, I can't work from home. Like every once in a while I can do work at home, but I can't work from home. So if I'm working from home, I'm done. I want to watch TV. I want to play with the dog. I want to go out. I just don't want to work from home. I had one job that I had for almost 2 years that they had no offices, and I was supposed to work from home, and I tell you, it was the worst performance I ever did in any job I ever had, and I was surprised that they kept me there that long, by the way. So, but I just don't like it. I'd rather be in the office. I'm in the office, I'm working. I'm home, I'm working. So then you got all these people again working from home. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's funny because now you get an article after article. Even Google is saying that they want their people back because they perform much better at home. I remember some salespeople during the COVID thing, they were calling me up trying to sell me their products, and they're calling me from their living room or from their bedroom, and I'm like, I want to be perfect. I want you to come into my office. I want you to sit down. I want you to tell me about your product. I don't want you to be in the middle of a sentence going, hey, shh, be quiet, I'm on the phone. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So that didn't work out well for me, for some of the people who came into my office and doing that. And I don't know how it works out for you, but you actually wrote a book, right? Didn't you write a book about this called, I think it's called The Hybrid Leader, is that correct?
Yeah, in the final stages, about to get published. That's right. The Hybrid Leader, learn how to manage, inspire, and lead people from anywhere.
So do you believe in hybrid work, or do you not believe in hybrid work?
The answer is it depends on the person. Let me explain.
Okay,
exactly.
Sure.
You know, I've managed a lot of salespeople before, and if you're an extrovert, you know, like a person who likes to talk, a person who likes to communicate, especially if you're in sales, communication, marketing, if you're maybe in creative work, you will prefer to be in the office or to be in an environment where you can socialize with people.
Yeah, that
now,
explains
if
a
you
lot.
are, yes, but on the other side, you know, if you are a more low profile, a little bit introvert, designer or SEO guy, you don't want to go to the office. So it depends. And that's why from managerial point of view, you need to really to adapt to different kinds of people and see how you can, you know, because as a manager, you want to get the job done. I don't really care if you are doing your job from the toilet or from the living room or from the office, as long as you can execute, as long as you can complete your tasks. So you need to really, you know, as a manager, I think right now you need to wear different hats and be able to adapt and to have the ability and the flexibility to adapt to your staff and find the right balance. And, you know, at the end of the day, good managers trust people to get the job done regardless of where they are. Because I think it goes three ways. You need to hire the right people. If you hire the right people that fit your company culture, if you build good management structure and then you give them direction for what needs to be done, you just need to step back and let them do the job.
So how do you know what, actually, let's do this. Let's take a break, and then I'm going to ask you a question. I want to ask you how you can manage people when they're at home, but don't answer it yes, because we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back, and then we'll talk about that. All right, we'll see you in just a minute. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and I've written a book called Money Hacks. The subtitle to this book is because everything you think you know about money is wrong, and I promise you there are things you think about money that are wrong. There are chapters in this book that I think you will find absolutely fascinating, and some of them are, what is money anyway? Can money buy happiness? I'll bet you don't know the answer to that question. The truth about credit scores, how you can actually use credit cards to rebuild your credit. I also have chapters on being your own bank, how to buy houses with an IRA, and how to invest with other people's money. There are so many other chapters. There are 22 total chapters in this book, and I promise you're going to learn how to make more money and pay less taxes when you buy this book. My name is Larry Steinhouse. The name of the book is Money Hacks. You can get this book wherever fine books are sold, and you can go to barnesandnoble.com right now and pre-order it. I hope that you will enjoy it. Money Chat now. We are in the interview portion, and we are currently interviewing Evan Tzivanakis. And of course, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please go to the LarrySteinhouseShow.com/guest. That's the LarrySteinhouseShow.com/guest, and tell me why I should interview you. All right, let's get back to Evan. Evan, I have a question for you now, and we talked about it right before. How is it the best way to manage people when they're working from home?
Okay. So the first thing that I would do is make sure you hire the right people. The right people doesn't mean the best people. What do I mean by right people is the right people for you, for your company, for your exit strategy, for whatever you want to make. You know, so hire the right people, the people that fit on what you want to achieve as a manager, as a CEO, as a leader. Number two, make sure that you have good management structures in place, like good technology, support, training, good onboarding, and so on. Number three, once you hire them, you train them, they blend into the culture, then you need to give them the direction of what needs to be accomplished, and then you need to trust that they will live up to those expectations. And then you become a hippopotamus manager. Do you know what is a hippopotamus manager? Can you picture the hippopotamus that is sitting in, is just, you know, half his eyes are in the water and half his face is in the water and half the other face on top, and just quiet, and he doesn't react unless something happens.
Right.
Right? You can picture it. So this is the kind of manager I think we need to nowadays be. Provide our people with the structure, management, the right tools to do the job, and be calm and quiet, and step in or help when and if needed. Because, it's like a relationship. It's like a personal relationship. If you show the other person that you don't trust them, what's the worst thing of trust? The worst thing of trust is not that you don't trust the other person. The worst thing is to show that you don't trust.
Oh, yeah, sure. That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I tell you, I keep thinking, have you ever read the book, The 1 Minute Manager?
Yes.
Right. So I read that book, and I thought I was blown away by it. Then I tried it, and I failed miserably. So what I found was, and there was something that you said, and I had to add this to my management style, was the training and making them understand the expectations. And the other problem that I had was I couldn't really quantify expectations, especially when most of the stuff that I do is creative. Like my engineer right now who's doing the show for us right now, how do I set expectations for him when he knows how to do this stuff and I don't? So the set we're sitting in now, it's a beautiful set that he's created, right? But I wouldn't know how to do it, so I wouldn't know if he can make the set better or worse. By the way, it's beautiful, and the producer did a really great job on it. But how would I know that he couldn't do better? Or do I just say, you know what? He did a great job, I'm okay with it?
Yeah. Look, for me as a manager, it's important that managers focus on, your performance as a manager, the performance expectation to your employee should be that performance should be based on clear objectives and outputs, not on what time does my employee clock in, clock out.
Wait, say that last part again?
It should be, if I'm managing you, and let's say you're not you don't really need to clock in, clock out at a specific time. Your performance should be based on objectives and outputs.
Right.
So what do you produce? When do you execute your tasks?
So sales, that would be easy. If you're own a used car business or a car business, right? And you say, well, you have to sell a minimum of 15 cars, or you don't work here anymore. And if you sell 30 cars, we're going to pay you this much money. We're going to pay you $200,000 a year if you sell 30 cars a month. So it's easy to manage the expectations in something like that. But how do you manage expectations in something creative, where you have a business that's all creative? So all of my businesses are all creative businesses. Like this is one of them. I also have a business where I teach people how to invest in real estate in the stock market.
Yes.
And the people that I bring in, it's a combination of sales, but it's also meeting and greeting people and talking to people and creating presentations. So how do I set those expectations?
First of all, the mindset that I have, if I can share it with you, when it comes to my employees, is that I see my employees, the way I see them, as if they are my customers. So the question I have, to myself is, if I am managing that person and I assign them some tasks to do, except from the salary, except from the commission, the question I have is this: what is in it for them?
Right. I actually really like that.
And once you find out why they do what they do, you can then treat him as a customer and give him what he wants. Maybe he wants maybe he's here for career. Maybe he's here because he likes the salary. Maybe he's here because, I don't know. So,
sure.
It's really to find out what your people want, on the second level, why they do what they do, and then sit down and say, okay, if you're in creative environment, what do we want to achieve over the next 3 months? And then you set a target, and then this is what we're going to achieve. And then you can ask the person, how do you want to be rewarded if you achieve A, B, C, and D in 90 days? What do you want? So, you can coach your employees. Let them give you the answer, maybe.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's another book, and you reminded me, there's another book, I don't know if you ever read it, by Daniel Pink, called Drive.
Daniel Pink, yes. He has a few books, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's a book that talks about why people actually do their job. So it's funny that most people think people do their job for money, and clearly the Great Resignation says that that's not true. You know, most people do their job because they have some internal interest in the job, some internal values of the job, and that's why they do the job. The money just happens to be something that they expect to be paid for that job. And once they hit a certain amount of money, a lot of times people will actually leave their job and get paid less money in another job because they like the idea of their intrinsic values being the more important value.
Yes. And you know, yes, and as you said it, and that's why it's challenging for managers when we're talking about hybrid and remote work to engage with your employees. You know, I am a fan of face-to-face. I like face-to-face. I think you like it as well.
Yeah,
I like the banter.
Yeah.
You know, have a cup of coffee, you know, at work or after work. Go with your employees for a beer after work and have a chat. It's not unprofessional, you know. Tell them, hey, John, we've been working together for 6 months. How are things, you know?
Yeah, I like it. Actually, I like it a lot. So you would never answer the question, and I'm wondering if you can, not if you can, but if you have time to answer the question, I should say. So the best way to manage somebody at work when they're at their home. So you're in your office, and this person is either a hybrid employee or an at-home worker. What is the best way to manage that employee?
Okay. Yes. So let's say you hire them. They are the right people. They have the structure. They have the KPIs. They know what they are doing. They are happy. So the best way is you set, let's say, a 3 months target, okay, or 3 months. What do we want to achieve after 3 months? Okay, if you, let's say, complete your tasks, or let's say minimum 80% of your target, you're gonna get rewarded with 1 to 3. It could be a weekend away. So you give the vision, you give the task, you give the reward, and then what you could do with hybrid or remote, once every 2 weeks. So they have the bigger picture, they know what they're going to do, they have the task, they have the structure in place, they know what will happen if they achieve the target, they know what will happen if they don't, and then what you do, you are there to retain. Once a month or once every 2 weeks, you can have one-on-one Zoom call, casual, hey, how are you? How did the last 2 weeks go? How can I help you? What challenges are you facing? And then keep the retention, keep the relationship, and ideally, if you can do the same every 2 weeks or once per month, face-to-face.
Very cool. All right, so how can people get a hold of you if they want to learn more, or if they want to hire you, or they want to learn how to have that cool accent?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, Evan Tzivanakis, Tzivanakis. You can type my name on LinkedIn. You will find me. I'm quite active there. And if you want, you can drop me an email, evan@executivecoachasia.com.
Awesome, man. All right, we got about a minute. What's something you want to leave the audience with?
I want to leave the audience with, if you are watching this and you're listening to this and you're a manager and if you're a leader or a business owner, I think, it is the right time now to retrain yourself and have the thought of, treat your employees as your customers. Because if you have the mentality, okay, my employee chose to work with me, I'm going to treat him as a customer, and then that employee will go and treat the customer with the right same mentality. You see, a lot of owners, business owners, the mistake sometimes they do is they look at the customers as the end product. But your end product as a manager or as a business owner, yes, you need to know about product and your clients and what the market wants. But if you treat your employees fairly and nicely and you give them what they want, they will internally be motivated to work for you so you can get what you want.
All right, so it's all about treating your employees well. All right, Evan, I want to thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on to this podcast with me, and I want to thank everyone else for watching the show. My name is Larry Steinhouse. I am the host of Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is live every morning at 7:30 a.m., and you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And, of course, if you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can go to thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. That's thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest, and let us know why you want to be interviewed. Hey, we hope that you guys enjoyed today's interview with Evan Tzivanakis, and we hope you'll tune in again. Make it a profitable day.